There's nothing quite like crawling into bed after a long day, pulling up the covers, and finally letting your body rest. It's one of life's simple pleasures, especially as we get older. But what if I told you that some of the things you do in the bedroom, those little habits you've had for years, might actually be hurting your health? Now, I'm not here to scare you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. As we age, our bodies change, and sometimes the routines we've relied on for decades need a little adjusting. That's why today we're going to talk about 5 common bedroom habits that could be affecting your sleep, your energy, and even your long-term health. The good news? Small changes can make a big difference. So, let's get started with the first habit, one that might surprise you. Habit number 1. Sleeping too much or too little. You've probably heard that seniors need less sleep, or maybe you've been told you should be getting a solid 8 hours no matter what. But here's the truth, it's not just about how much you sleep, but how well you sleep. See, as we age, our sleep patterns shift. You might find yourself waking up earlier or needing a nap during the day. That's normal. But if you're consistently sleeping more than 9 hours, or less than 6, your body isn't getting the restorative rest it needs. Too little sleep can leave you groggy, irritable, and even weaken your immune system. On the other hand, too much sleep has been linked to memory problems and even a higher risk of heart disease. So what's the sweet spot? Most doctors recommend between 7 and 8 hours for seniors. If you're struggling to stay in that range, try setting a gentle bedtime routine, maybe some light reading, soft music, or a warm cup of caffeine-free tea. Your body will thank you. Habit number 2, using the wrong pillow. Now, let's talk about something you might not even think about, your pillow. If you've been using the same one for years, or even decades, it might be time for an upgrade. A pillow that's too flat or too thick can throw your spine out of alignment, leading to neck pain, stiffness, and even headaches. And if you're dealing with acid reflux or breathing issues, the wrong pillow can make those problems worse. The best pillow for seniors? It depends on how you sleep. If you're a side sleeper, you'll want something firmer to keep your head and neck supported. Back sleepers usually do best with a medium loft, and stomach sleepers, though it's not the best position, should opt for something thin to avoid straining the neck. And here's a pro tip. Memory foam pillows can be a game changer because they conform to your shape, reducing pressure points. It's a small change, but one that can make your mornings so much more comfortable. Smooth transition to the next point. Now, before we move on to the next habit, I want you to think about this. How many times have you woken up in the middle of the night feeling too hot or too cold? If it's happening often, that's our next big habit to tackle. There's nothing worse than tossing and turning all night because you just can't get comfortable. Too hot one minute, too cold the next. And if you're like a lot of folks over 60, you might notice your body doesn't regulate temperature the way it used to. That brings us to our next habit, and it's one that's easy to fix once you know what to do. Habit number 3, poor temperature control in the bedroom. Our bodies become more sensitive to temperature changes as we age. You might find yourself feeling chilly even under a heavy blanket, or waking up sweating in the middle of the night. And when your sleep is constantly interrupted by being too hot or too cold, it affects more than just your energy the next day. It can actually weaken your immune system over time. So what's the solution? First, aim for a bedroom temperature between 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 21 degrees Celsius. That's the sweet spot for most seniors. If you tend to run cold, try layering lightweight blankets instead of one heavy comforter so you can adjust easily. And if night sweats are a problem, moisture-wicking pajamas made from natural fibers like cotton or bamboo can make a huge difference. Here's another tip. If your feet are always cold, a common issue, a warm foot bath before bed or a pair of cozy socks can help. Just avoid electric blankets set too high. They can overheat you and even pose a safety risk. Small tweaks like these can mean the difference between restless nights and waking up refreshed. Habit number 4, late night screen time. Now, let's talk about something many of us are guilty of. Scrolling through our phones or watching TV right before bed. I get it. It's relaxing to catch up on the news or watch a favorite show. But that blue light from screens? It tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to fall asleep and lowering the quality of your rest. And it's not just about light. The content we watch matters too. If you're dozing off to stressful news or an intense drama, Your mind stays active, replaying those stories instead of winding down. So what can you do instead? Try setting a screen curfew, at least 30 minutes to an hour before bed. Switch off the TV and put down the phone. Instead, try reading a physical book, nothing too suspenseful. Listening to soft music or a calming podcast. Gentle stretching or deep breathing exercises. If you must use a device, enable the night mode feature to reduce blue light or consider blue light blocking glasses. You might be amazed at how much deeper you sleep when you give your brain a proper chance to unwind. Smooth transition to the next point. Now, we've covered some nighttime habits, but there's one more big one that happens as soon as you wake up, and it could be setting the tone for your entire day. Stay tuned, because this next habit might surprise you. There's something so peaceful about those first quiet moments of the morning. Isn't there? Maybe you sit up slowly, stretch a little, and take a deep breath before starting your day. But here's something most of us don't think about in those early hours. Our bodies are actually desperate for water. After 6, 7, even 8 hours without a sip, we wake up mildly dehydrated. And when you're over 60, that dehydration hits harder. Dry mouth, low energy, even morning dizziness can all be signs your body's begging for fluids. That brings us to our final habit. One that's simple to fix but makes a world of difference. Habit number 5. Skipping morning hydration. You might not feel thirsty first thing, but your body's been working all night. Repairing cells, filtering toxins, keeping your heart pumping. It needs water to get those systems running smoothly for the day ahead. And if you reach for coffee before hydrating, that actually makes dehydration worse. Here's what to do instead. Keep a glass or bottle of water by your bedside. Room temperature is gentlest first thing. Sip slowly. Just 4 to 6 ounces is enough to kickstart your system. Wait 20 to 30 minutes before coffee or tea to let the water do its job. Bonus tip: add a tiny pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon to help your body absorb the water better. It's a trick athletes use, and it works just as well for us. Bringing it all together. Now, let's take a quick look at what we've covered. Sleeping the right amount, not too little, not too much. Choosing the right pillow for your sleeping style. Keeping your bedroom at the ideal temperature. Avoiding screens before bed to protect your sleep quality. Hydrating first thing in the morning to energize your day. Remember, you don't have to change everything at once. Maybe start with the pillow this week, then work on screen time next week. Small steps lead to big changes. And here's the most important thing. You deserve to feel rested and energized every day. These aren't drastic changes, just little adjustments to honor the way your body works now rather than how it worked 20 years ago. Closing with warmth and encouragement. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits resonated most? Have you tried any of these fixes before? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this was helpful, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe for more simple, practical tips to help you feel your best at any age. Here's to your health, your rest, and to waking up each morning feeling refreshed and ready to enjoy the day ahead. After all, every sunrise brings new possibilities. Let's make sure you're feeling your best to greet them.